door exploded shut behind it. "Never saw her look so mad," Adele said. I laughed. Mother gets very mad. Maybe at you. I thought Adele would just turn and walk down the steps and leave me to start dinner before Mother started shouting for me, but she lingered on the porch. "She's wrong about Lucien?" I asked. "She thinks she knows something about him, but those are just lies. He's so good to me." "That's good," I said, but I couldn't help thinking about how right Mother was about everything except for Daddy. "So when is she going to let you see somebody? You're 17. I sighed. "Ain't nobody I want to see." "Girl, don't lie. You scared of her." "I see boys," I said, half-heartedly. Adele was right, and I didn't feel like admitting it, so I kept my mouth shut. "Sometimes you just have to do what you want. Can't always worry about every little thing," she said, as she waved goodbye and headed up Gravier. Maybe Adele was even more glamorous in my eyes because she could get away with so much. I never understood why Mother tolerated her fast life. Now that Adele was set with a hard-working husband, so pretty and dressed up so fine, some people called her Little Lena Horne. Made it too easy for a man to fall in love with her. Adele saw Rene coming. She batted her long lashes and landed him easily. The idiot thought he caught himself the belle of the ball, but he was the one getting skinned, cleaned, and hung out to dry. What she saw in him was a colored man with a white man's job. Rene was so fair he couldn't work as a Negro, but he found himself a position on a merchant marine ship, and that was it. Adele had schemed to get those fat paychecks and those frequent trips where Rene would be out to sea, and she'd be alone and not have to answer to anyone. Think she would have lived like a queen and made a few babies and spoiled herself rotten, but not Adele. Married, but with all that time and opportunity, she just chased men like a hungry dog looking for a bone. Adele married Rene just when things were getting worse between Mother and Daddy, and because of that, Mother had only me to take out her troubles on. I didn't mind that she rode me like a French quarter horse. She was much harder on herself than me. I'd see Mother waiting like a love-struck girl at the kitchen table with Daddy's dinner warming on the stove, but he rarely made it home before we were all asleep. She had a broken heart and a sick heart, and it was my job to keep it from getting worse. Maybe to keep him, Mother became pregnant, carrying twins she must have known she wouldn't see grow up. It was a miracle she survived to term. After they were born, it fell to me to raise them. By the time this Lucien business started, Ava and Anna were 6 years old, and they had long been my responsibility. That was one bitter Monday. First the news of Adele's hot pants for Lucien, then Daddy coming home drunk, looking to beat somebody's behind. In the darkness of the bedroom, a child on each arm cutting off my circulation, I was trying not to move, worrying I'd wake them and would have to get the girls asleep all over again. I needed to sleep myself, but I was too worn out, resentful at chasing my little sisters while Mother sat in the kitchen all Monday long, brooding about Adele and wondering if Daddy would ever make it home for red beans and rice, his favorite meal. Daddy being gone was fine for me. At least the house was quiet. Then he came stumbling in. I imagined Mother rushing to meet him, happy like Christmas in July. I heard them in the kitchen. Mother saying soothing words. Daddy grumbling. "Bae, can I get you a cold drink? You don't want red beans and rice? You want me to cook a pork chop?" I slid the sleeping twins from my arms and crept to the kitchen. There I saw Mother trying hard to light the stove. "Woman, are you some kind of fool?" Daddy, dressed to the nines as usual for catting around, stood at the sink next to Mother. Mother still trying to strike a match. "What? You got these damn matches wet, you dumb heifer." Daddy was a smallish man, except for his arms, from having to carry all that luggage in his Pullman Porter days. He smacked Mother hard enough so that she bounced against the sink. He must have stunned her. She stood rigid and defenseless. Daddy grabbed her neck and forced her backward, turned on the faucet, and stuck her face under the stream of water. Clear as day, I can still hear her gagging. He didn't stop. No, he kept it up till I thought she would die. That was the first time I saw red. I mean, really saw it. Swam in it. I saw that bastard daddy of mine trying to kill Mother, and suddenly I was burning, raging in a sea of red hatred. I rushed into the kitchen, startling the two of them. But still Daddy didn't let go. "You get out of here. Leave us be," he commanded. He raised his hand like he could hit me, although I was halfway across the room. He wanted me to run, but I didn't. No, that red rage propelled me to grab the big butcher knife from off the counter. "Stop! I swear I'll cut you to hell." After a long moment of catching his breath from all that effort at trying to kill Mother, he laughed at me. I think he thought he could take the knife. His drunken ass stumbled toward me, hands reaching for the knife, and I cut him as easily as the chicken I cooked for dinner. "Oh, God!" he shouted. "The little bitch cut me!" "Get out!" I shouted. "No, Lita," Mother said, pulling me away. But I shook free and chased Daddy through the house and out the front door and into the street until I lost him in those tumble-down shotgun shacks around the corner. I remember a full moon that night. Daddy returned the next day with a bandaged hand. He didn't try to beat Mother, and he wouldn't look in my direction. Daddy knew I would kill him if he ever raised a hand to her again. This made me a woman in his eyes and in my own. In Mother's eyes, I was the kind of woman who would never be beaten. Daddy had some big secret. He wouldn't tell Mother what he was up to, no matter how many times she asked. Men in dirty overalls came to work in the backyard. They started digging and hammering and pouring concrete, but still Daddy wouldn't tell us what they were building. The frame of a small house went up, and I thought we were going to take in boarders. Only when they put in the counter and the stools did we figure it out. "A bar? What for?" I asked Mother. "Your father says it's what we need to get ahead, and it's not a bad idea. We'll make this work." I smirked, knowing the only getting ahead would be for Daddy, now that he could do his skirt-chasing and boozing right at home, but it wasn't my place to tell Mother. The bar was built quickly and well enough. Mother saw to it that the builders didn't cut corners and pocket our money and make a laughingstock of us. I figured the bar would be closed in a few weeks or even sooner, but I was wrong. Mother knew how to make money. More money than Daddy could even lose or slip into his pocket. The first day we opened the doors, bums came in and rooted themselves on bar stools and didn't leave until we threw them out. I still wonder if they knew the kind of rot gut we were pouring. Daddy had the twins scrubbing labels off the cheapest beer he could find, then pasting on Falstaff or some other decent brand. Nobody complained. Those men just wanted some hole to climb in and some dirt to pull over themselves. And we had that hole, and all the dirt they'd ever need. One evening before closing, Adele came by. I was bone-tired, eyes stinging from all that smoke in the bar, wondering how I was going to make it to last call. Late as it was, Adele looked like her evening just got started. She came over to me giggling like a schoolgirl. "He's here, Lita." "Who's here?" Whoever it was, I didn't want them seeing me looking like what the cat drug in, with my hair under a scarf, stinking of spilled beer and smoke. She wanted to point him out to me, but I inched backward, trying to catch Mother's eye. She was busy behind the counter, serving the last drinks and slipping the night's receipts, a wad of bills, deep into her bosom. "Look, Adele's here," I said.